Something I did not realize, but I did find to be super interesting is that following Randy's passing, I was reading your brother, Robert, was offered the gig to replace Randy and Ozzy, but then I guess the label at the time had already jumped the gun and brought on Bernie Torme and already paid him in advance and all that. But I'd never heard that before. Was your brother really offered the gig at one point to replace Randy?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what happened is there was so much chaos going on, and of course, it's 40 years ago. There's no texting, no emailing, no
Sure.
nothing. It was like, and so the focus was to find a guitar player, right? And among the many people that came down, I suggested, why don't we bring my brother down, Robert? Because again, what we were trying to do at the time was to finish the tour. There were tour dates, so we're already committed. We needed to finish them with integrity and dignity for Randy's memory. It had to be done right. We just couldn't bring just anybody. And so there were not too many choices. I mean, a lot of people showed up to audition, but there were not too many choices. So so even before my brother came down, Bernie, he was like one of the first guys to show up, and we would be every day auditioning guitar players, and he would be sitting in a corner. And there was so much going on that we were not. It was painful to go through the audition process, because here we are playing without Randy and so on. So we're kind of like, we're not really hanging out or talking to people. So Bernie was sitting on the corner, and then my brother comes in, and they liked him. And the fact that I suggested my brother, they trusted just like they trusted Randy when Randy suggested me, they did the same thing with me. And so as Robert's being offered the gig, Bernie overhears that, and he says, excuse me, but I've already been paid, and I already struck a deal with the office in England. And so when they realized that this guy has already been hired to play, that's when things change, and they say, well, he's been paid, he's been hired, he's got it, so we have to go with Bernie.
Wow. But then when it wound up not working out,
a lot of chaos. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when it ended up not working out with Bernie, was there any reason in particular that they brought in Brad Gillis instead of going back to your brother?
Yes. By the time, because Bernie came in, but also Bernie was working on his solo record, so he got paid for the time that he was going to be available. So we knew we needed another guitar player. And so once we got rolling on tour, I realized that I had lost the joy of making music, because it's different being in a room auditioning guitar players. Once you go on that stage and you hear the intro of Diary of a Madman, because that's how we started the show, the lights go down, and you're wearing the same clothes, you're in the same castle, there's the same dwarf running around, there's all of us except for Randy. That's when the pain hits. That's when it's like, and I just became robotic. I was a robot. I wasn't playing notes. I was just in survival mode. I was trying to survive every single show. So when it became it became known to us that Bernie was getting ready to leave, I told my brother, listen, we're still looking for a guitar player, but I do not recommend you joining, because I'm not going to be here. I got to move on. I had no idea how it was going to happen, how I was going to do it, but I just knew that I could not withstand that pain any longer.
And then I guess it was, so it'd be what, 30 or so years after that you finally did end up playing in a band with your brother with Jeff Tate, right? That was around 20.
Yeah, with Jeff Tate. Yeah.
So,
yeah. That was kind of like pretty much my biggest reason for doing that. I mean, I'm a fan of Jeff. I'm a fan of the other members of Queensryche, but nobody likes to get into one of those situations where there's two bands going out at the same time.
Right.
So what I found that the joy in it was that I was playing with my brother. Finally, you know, being on a tour bus with him, which I had never done that before.
Yeah. Did you guys ever try to get anything going together, like early on?
We did up until he got married and he stayed in New Jersey, and then I wound up in Omaha or Lincoln, Nebraska
With
with Bob.
Bob, yeah.